Also helped the defense yesterday. Vonn Bell signed. I did not see this one coming. Truly did not see this one come. I'm scrolling through Twitter. Everyone likes to put out the cryptic tweets. What are we with the Zodiac? Like, what's with the, just say what you mean. And everyone's just putting the Bell emoji. And I'm like, what did David Bell do? What did David Bell? Why are there all these Bengals accounts tweeting about David Bell? And I was like, oh, Vonn Bell. Did not see another move for safety. But you get a veteran minimum. Now, Vonn Bell wasn't good last year. Very bad, actually. So bad so that the Panthers are cutting him and paying most of his salary. What's the old David Justice Moneyball scene with Billy Bean? Yankees are paying half of your contract to play against him. That's what they think about you. But we get a voice, right? In a secondary that is so young. Before getting Geno Stone, and Geno Stone's young. He's 24 years old. Before getting Geno Stone, we're looking at a secondary that has Cam Taylor-Britt, who hasn't been in the league very long. Jordan Battle, DJ Turner, Dax Hill, all these guys have been in the league for, 2 years? Vonn Bell, former captain of the Cincinnati Bengals, is back here in Cincinnati. A comfortable voice that understands Lou Anarumo in the defensive corner, understands what the Bengals are trying to accomplish on that side of the ball. I don't know how much Vonn Bell is going to actually attribute on field. Right? It's a depth piece. It lets guys move around. I saw people in our Discord talking about it lets Dax Hill play a different role. He's athletic enough to play a different role. But Vonn Bell brings veteran leadership and a young secondary. Brings, hey, I was on this team when we were bad, and I helped us get good. If you ask Bengals fans across the board, what is the moment? What is the moment that led to this current era of the Cincinnati Bengals? A lot will point out the day that we drafted Joe Burrow. Fair. I'm not going to argue there. But for me, you remember that Monday Night Football game? It's COVID. I think at that time we had a curfew because of COVID. Bars had to close down at 10. The Pittsburgh Steelers, 11-1, 11-0. Big Ben coming in, one last ride. The nightmares fuel up. How many times has Big Ben beaten the Bengals? And we're the worst team in the league. They're 11-1. Oh, man, national television. We're going to get embarrassed on national television. And what does Vonn Bell do? He breaks up that down, gets the fumble. And from there, the Bengals have cooked. From there, the Bengals have been what we think they are today. That's my start of this era of the Cincinnati Bengals. That hit from Vonn Bell. And now he's back in the room. Casey, what excites you most about getting the veteran leadership of Vonn Bell back?
Well, the fact that they got him for so cheap, right? That was such a smart move. It's exactly what the Steelers did with Russell Wilson, right? Where they don't have to pay him a whole lot of money because the other team is already doing that. Yeah, it's a smart move. Bring him back. He was already a great leader on this team. Rejuvenized the defense after that hit. I agree with that point. And hopefully he still knows most of the scheme, right? I mean, he was here for 4 years. So, I mean, I'm very excited because I don't think people realize he's not going to be starting, right? He's going to be probably your Uncle Mike. I don't know if you guys remember that quote from Mike Thomas. Yeah. He was referenced as Uncle Mike because he was the old guy in the secondaries room or the receiver room. Yeah, that's Uncle Bell now. That's Vonn Bell. He's going to get those guys right, make sure that they know what they're doing. And it's great depth. If Battle gets hurt, if any of those guys get hurt, really, I'm very comfortable now in the secondary to say, yep, Bell will get it done. Bell will take care of things, and we'll be moving on forward as is. The other thing, too, is it could be a sign that this is how they feel about Dax Hill. And Dax Hill's a great slot guy. At least out of college he was. And he's great inside the box. He's great at defending tight ends. So that maybe means that he's going to be expected more inside the box, be able to do what he's best at, sideline to sideline running, which is great. I think the guy that was really good at doing that for us was Vonn Bell in a way. Mm-hmm. And you learn from a leader like him, and I think you'll be set. So for me, I think it's a smart move. I don't think it takes away much of the snaps away from the other guys. It's a depth piece, a leadership role. Great move. Great move for the money.
Yeah, I think when I first heard it, I was a bit upset. I think I texted Casey. I was like, what? What are we doing? Vonn Bell? We just got Geno Stone. We didn't have Dax Hill and Jordan Battle. Why are we getting Vonn Bell? And then it comes out. He's going to play for $1 million. You can't say no to that. You already needed some veteran leadership in the secondary, so why not get the guy that's been around for a while? And there was, going into this postseason, I talked about this defense, and I said there's going to be a lot of shrugging and hoping. You're going to shrug and hope that Logan Wilson and Jermaine Pratt get a little better, go back to the form that they were the years previous and not what they were in 2023. You're going to shrug and hope that Myles Murphy turns out to be the guy that was thought to be a top 10 pick and not the guy that didn't play a whole lot of snaps his rookie year. You're going to shrug and you're going to hope that this secondary continues to improve on what they've shown. That Cam Taylor-Britt continues to mold into the star that we think he can be. That DJ can turn to continue to use his speed and be the persistent starting cornerback that we think he can be. That Jordan Battle can continue to improve on being the highest rated safety by Pro Football Focus. That Dax Hill can continue to be the first round pick that we used a couple years ago. And as we have all that shrugging and hoping, there's been a lot of moves now that you're not shrugging, you're not hoping, you kind of know. And adding a guy like Vonn Bell allows for flexibility, allows for age, and he's still got football to play. He's still, he's we talk about over the hill guys. He's 29, former Buckeye. We love him here in this state. Love him here in Cincinnati. It provides so much. It can't be understood. This is why we talk about in baseball, like when the whole Jonathan India stuff was going on, like he's a locker room guy. You always hear that. There's no way to quantify it. But for $1 million, it's pretty easy to go, yeah, that makes sense. And that's what we're paying Vonn Bell. I'm not a guy that gets overly attached to players. I will be the first to admit, you guys know I defend Joe Burrow to the end of the earth. But I don't get overly attached to a lot of these players, right? Like, I think we can replace DJ Reader with a Tiertar. I don't need to bring back DJ Reader. I don't need to have T. Higgins around here because I know what he is. I'm okay with going into the unknown. I didn't need to keep Jesse Bates around. I think we were all on the same page. Like, yeah, I think it's time for Jonah Williams to move off. I didn't need to keep Joe Mixon here just because he's been the starting running back of the Cincinnati Bengals. I preach this in multiple ways, but like, just because it's familiar doesn't always mean it's right, doesn't always mean it's good. I'm okay with being uncomfortable. I'm okay with not having the familiar players. But as I've said, if you can get them on a cheap deal, if you can get a veteran that's going to help guide these rookies, then yeah, that makes sense. It makes a lot of sense. I continue to get excited about this offseason. I continue to think about what the Bengals are doing, and across the board, I have liked every move that they've made thus far. Doesn't mean they're going to miss, right? Just because you're 6 for 6 from behind the arc doesn't mean the 7th shot's going to go through the net. Just because I'm 4 for 4 at the plate doesn't mean I'm going to go 5 for 5. In fact, it's more likely that you're going to miss soon. And maybe many of these positions will miss. I can't put on a hat and predict the future. I don't have a telescope that sees through space and time. I don't have any of that. But I could tell you why I like every move that the Bengals have made. I can tell you that when you get a Geno Stone for 2 years and $15 million, 24 years old, second in the league in interceptions, and he's coming to Cincinnati a year after we talked about, oh my God, it's a dark day in Cincinnati. We didn't re-sign Jesse Bates. We're getting Geno Stone, who's 24 years old, for 2 years for less than the price of 1 year of Jesse Bates. Is Geno Stone the player that Jesse Bates is? No. You know that. But a year after, we're talking about, I can't believe the Bengals didn't re-sign Vonn Bell. He comes on back for the veteran minimum. Love it. In a room that we've been looking for interior pass rush now for 2 years, we get Sheldon Rankins. 2 years, $26 million. He's coming off an average sacks higher than we've had over this era. Early in his career, had 8 sacks in a year. Punished the Bengals last year playing for the Houston Texans. Had 6 sacks. He had 3 in that game. We get Mike Gesicki in a revolving door of tight ends. C.J. Uzama, Hayden Hurst, Irv Smith. We get Mike Gesicki, who is a matchup nightmare for teams. He's too athletic to put a linebacker on. He's too big to put a safety or cornerback on. In the offseason, we get Zach Moss, younger, cheaper, more explosive, less tread on the tires than Joe Mixon. Check, 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 check. Oh, yeah. And we're getting another third-round pick. Get 2/3 this year. Check. This team's gearing up for something special. And if they can get a nose tackle, I love what this team has done this offseason.